Hello everybody and welcome back to my kitchen and welcome back to the Monn vlog challenge. I believe this is day 10. We'll see. So last night I noticed that I have these 3 very ripe bananas. So I figured, what better way to use these 3 ripe bananas than to peel them and mash them up with various other ingredients and make banana bread, because it's like the easiest thing to make. If you don't know how to bake, just make banana bread, because it doesn't take a lot of like baking skill to make banana bread. But still, if you give somebody banana bread or they come to your house and you're like, I made banana bread, they're like, oh my god, wifey, baker material, you still seem like you put in a lot of effort, even if you don't really have to for banana bread. So I'm gonna just chat with you guys while I mix everything together. Should I put this lower so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing? You probably don't just want to see my face. So I've got the 3 bananas. By the way, I am following a recipe. I'm gonna link it below. Her name is Monique. Her Instagram is Ambitious Kitchen, and her blog website is also Ambitious Kitchen, and she makes fantastic, like, healthier recipes. So there's no sugar in this, there's no milk. I guess there wouldn't be milk anyway. I mean, I am gonna use Greek yogurt, which is not, you can make this vegan, and there's also gonna be eggs. So she says that it's very important that the eggs are room temperature, so these have been left out for a minute to make sure that they're warm. Not warm, but room temperature. I had to put the Greek yogurt and maple syrup back. So yeah, got these going in here. I'm gonna go ahead and do my wet ingredients first. Is there a way to make it so you guys are a little bit higher? Well, whatever. So we're gonna do the eggs in the bowl. Like I've said before, I like to crack my eggs on a flat surface. Yeah, you can definitely tell the consistency of the eggs are different when they're room temperature. Don't judge how I crack eggs, okay? Okay. So how's your New Year going so far? Mine has been pretty lackluster, or uneventful. I'm trying to find my masher. I use a potato masher for the bananas because I find it's easier to use this than a fork or any other utensil. And you don't want to overwork this too much. You want to mix everything so it's just incorporated. So yeah, my New Year's has been uneventful so far. I worked on New Year's Day. I worked a little bit, and today I have to go and do some work. And then I work tomorrow in the morning. So that's where we're at. Do you guys like banana bread? Or are you not a fan? I like it. I like it when I make it, or like I like it homemade. But I don't really like it store-bought. Like, I would never go out of my way to buy banana bread to to eat. But I will make it and then I'll eat it. Okay. So it looks like... Ah! I almost spilled it out. But it looks like that. Basically looks disgusting right now. It calls for a little bit of vanilla. All I have is this concentrated vanilla flavor. They didn't have vanilla extract. I don't know what the difference is. It says that there is vanilla extract in this, so I don't know. Just put a splash like that. Just a little bit. I'm following this recipe loosely. I don't measure a ton, only a little bit. And then we're gonna go with, oh, that's a dry ingredient. Silly me. Okay. I'm using this Too Good vanilla Greek yogurt, 2 grams of sugar per 6-ounce cup. So there's just not a lot of sugar in here. Gonna do, there are certain things with the recipes that you have to follow pretty, you know, anyways. So I'm going to do 1/2 cup of this Greek yogurt. It's about 1/2 cup. I'm gonna use this little spatula to get it all out. Do you guys have any New Year's traditions? I know there are some people who eat black-eyed peas on New Year's Day or something like that. I don't know. I don't have any New Year's traditions yet. So, let me know if you have any. Alright. It's as good as it's gonna get. I'm just gonna sit that there. We're done with that. Then the maple syrup, which I'm using pure maple syrup, Ohio organic, made by the Amish / Mennonites. And I think it's a 1/3 cup. Yeah, it's a 1/3 cup. It's quite a lot, I think. But the flavor from the maple syrup is so good. So much better than honey or sugar. And the honey burns in the maple. My apologies. My phone storage said I didn't have enough. So if you have the podcasts app on your phone, on your iPhone, and that's what you use to listen to podcasts, I would check how much storage it's using, because you're able to like download episodes and that takes up a shit ton of space. And I had like 84 gigs taken up by the Joe Rogan podcast, and I don't even really listen to it anymore. So anyways, whenever you should offload the app whenever you have the chance to, if you're the type that downloads the podcast episodes. Which sometimes I do, but now that I have unlimited data on my plan, since like for the past 2 years, I don't need to download anything. It doesn't matter. I can just use my LTE whenever I need to. Okay. I think we're just about done with the wet ingredients. There's also butter in this recipe, but you add it you mix it in right at the very end. So this is what the wet ingredients look like right now. And then I'll start with the dry. In her recipe it says whole wheat flour, I think, but I'm just using unbleached all-purpose flour. I don't know that it quite matters a ton how much, but I think it's 1 1/4 cup. 1 3/4 cup of flour. And I just put the dry ingredients into a smaller bowl, and keep the wet ingredients in a big bowl, and I don't really use a big bowl for the dry ingredients because you're just going to mix the dry into the wet, so it doesn't really matter. And then 3/4, I'm just going to use 3/4 of this. It's not going to be super accurate. 100, it's not going to be to a T, you know, but it's good enough. And then you want, I'm just using kosher. I'm just using fine, oh, it's not kosher, it's fine sea salt. I'm just using fine sea salt. And that's just 1/4 of a teaspoon. And of course, your baking soda, that's what makes it rise. And that is 1 full teaspoon. If you guys like to bake, if y'all enjoy baking, tell me what you like to bake. What is your favorite thing to bake? Or if you don't like baking, what's your favorite thing to cook? If you like cooking. I'm not getting any. Here we go. That's too much now. Okay. That's good. And it calls for cinnamon, but I bought this pumpkin pie spice and I want to put it in there. I want to try that in there instead. I think it's a half teaspoon. Yes. A half teaspoon. I think what this has in it is cinnamon, nutmeg, and a couple other things. I'll look. It's good. Sometimes I just add a little bit extra. Yeah, this is cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. So, pretty simple. Let me double check. I just whisk together, I whisk the dry ingredients just to disperse the salt and baking soda. Disperse the salt, baking soda, and our spices. Just to make sure everything gets evenly distributed. You know what I mean? If you enjoy this cooking with me type vlog, please let me know. Okay. Here is the fun part, I guess. What I'll do is I'll add it in small, like I'll just add it, I don't add it all at once. Then I'll just kind of stir it around with the, I'm still using the masher, but I'm just using it as like a, something to stir with that has holes in it or whatever, so that it helps incorporate it. And when it starts to disappear, that's when I'll add more. But it's kind of getting stuck on the sides, but that's what the spatula is for. Well, like I said, if you enjoy this cooking stuff where I show you what I'm making, please let me know. So I would love to have an excuse to cook more. Stuff that's not boring, at least. And that's it for the dry ingredients. See, now it's starting to get thick. Now it's starting to get a little thick. So I've got most of it incorporated, but there's still some on the sides that I will use this to get it off and mix it the rest of the way in. I watched Milky Way Matthew's video the other night while I was making dinner of him making his pudding. It made me really crave pudding, so I might make some pudding pretty soon. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I didn't preheat the oven. I was so worried about putting this together and showing you that I didn't preheat the oven. Well, okay. While the oven preheats, I'm going to clean up and then I'll come back when it's done. I'm going to put this butter in now. It's all melt. It's important that you melt the butter and then cool it, let it cool. So it's like liquid, but not hot. If that makes sense. So I'm just getting all that buttery goodness in there. And I think what the butter does is creates this like lubricant on the outside of the loaf. And it just makes it better. Maybe that's what helps give that brown color on the outside too. I'm not 100% sure. So I just kind of mix it around with my little spatula. Looks like that. I just mix it around until the butter is pretty much incorporated. It's a little bit tough. The butter kind of wants to stay on the outside, which is what we want. We want the outside of it to be coated, but you want it to be a little bit incorporated. And then for our final step to make this banana bread interesting are these. I believe I got these from Kroger. I don't know what brand they are because obviously I took them out of the original bag. But they're just these semi-sweet dark chocolate little morsels. And I just put not a bunch, just that's probably good. I really like chocolate in my banana bread. I know people who don't, but I quite enjoy the chocolate in my banana bread. Not gonna lie. So you just kind of just mix it up, and I think I might add a little bit more. Whoops, that might have been a little too much more, but whatever. I like it chocolatey. I think banana bread, I think it's a little boring without the chocolate, to be honest. Maybe I added too much chocolate, but whatever. When you're ready, you're going to, I'm trying to give you guys a good view of this. Ooh. I think that's really satisfying. And then you hold the bowl and you just use your spatula to scrape it all out. Make sure you get everything out. Oh, my oven is at 350, by the way. I'm gonna leave this, yeah, I got most of it. So, like I said, I'm gonna link the recipe in the description, but I'm putting my oven on 350. I mean, it is, can't really tell, but it's on 350. It's preheated. I am going to leave it I'm gonna leave it in there for about 40 to 50 minutes. Like I leave it for 40 and then I check it with a toothpick or something. And then if it's not done, which a lot of the times it's not, I leave it in for another 10 minutes. And then I just sprinkle a little bit more chocolate on the top. Not too much, but just. And that is what it looks like. And I'm gonna put that in the oven for 40 minutes and then check it in 40 minutes. And when it's done, I'll come back and show you the finished product and we'll do a little taste test. All right, I'm back. Everything is done. I'm gonna get a quick thumbnail and also show you guys the finished product somehow. My hair looks stupid. It doesn't even look pretty, does it? It looks good from back here. Okay. So that's that. Let's cut a slice with my handy dandy bread knife. I'm gonna cut it down the middle because I'm a barbarian like that. Oh, by the way, I ended up letting it go for 47 minutes, and that was good. When I check it at 40 minutes, I'll kind of gauge it where I think it will be good. And usually I'll leave it in for another like 5 to 7 minutes, and then from there, because I don't want to burn it. The chocolate melted really well. Okay, here's a cross. Oh, it's ugly. Here's a cross section. You see? Really bad lighting, I apologize, but like look how easily it just. I didn't let it cool long enough, I know, but I wanted to try it. I'm gonna put it back on the cooling rack. It's very warm. It's a little bit too warm. But you can hear how moist it is. The taste is fantastic. It's great. So like I said, I'm gonna leave the recipe in the description, and if you make it, you let me know. Okay, have a good night, have a good day wherever you are. If nobody has told you this yet today, you are loved, you are needed, I love you, this world needs you. And I hope you'll have a great day, night, wherever you are. I already said that. And I will see you all tomorrow for day 11.